Let's now revisit our earlier story where the Public Investment Committee on Governance and Education is holding a meeting with the Attorney General, and as we speak, the Attorney General, Justin Bidan Muturi, is currently addressing. Let's first of all cross over.
You're given an opportunity, you try to sort of lead by example. What really bothers me is the two have worked together for many years. They're supposed to be examples of leadership in this republic. But if I hear words like the students have become refugees, and these are people who've, that chemistry of working together for many years, learned Kenyans. But you're not in a position to agree on a few issues. An example, the institution is put up for the benefit of Kenyans and Kenyan doctors for this matter, to ensure that, we have sufficient of them to look care of our population health-wise. What exactly, how was your working relationship then, and what really changed your working relationship? If we can come and bring this particular committee, even pulling the AG from his office, because to me here, I see a difference in personalities, which at some point there must have been something that happened which we don't know. Because you, Professor Wainaina, you are the deputy to Professor Mugendi. And in that matter, handling administration and finance. And if I'm not wrong, I don't know if you joined together or one of you recommended the other one. I really don't know. What is the problem? And I think members, Chair, we need to use this as a case study so that in the future, we establish that if you are given an opportunity to serve this republic, you use that position in the correct way, you respect the rules knowing that tomorrow you'll be out of that institution and you'll not have to be called back to explain the things that are actually, pure leadership or, personality skills, sort of emotional intelligence. Because what I am saying is just two persons differing, not on principle, but from other parochial reasons, you're supposed to have sat together. I mean, it's not from the hospital.
Honorable Kakai, what's the question, please?
Yeah, so the question is this. Professor Wainaina, have you made some efforts to sit down with Professor Mugendi, who you worked together many years, to have a simple solution, even if it's an MOU, or whatever document, to ensure that the two facilities sort of coexist and support the objective? Thank you, Chair.
Just note that, Professor.
Chair.
We would like to know at the... Okay. Mheshimiwa Bonai.
Thank you, Chair. Just to add to what my colleague mentioned, Professor Mugenda and Professor Wainaina, you are colleagues. And I've interacted with both of you when I was CAS Education. And I'm looking at KU Hospital as a dream you both shared and continue to share to date. Are we into this tussle because you stopped sharing that dream? Or is it because you have differences at personal level? Now we are all into this situation. Just make it simple for us, because if a facility was, came into being to serve the students there, then that should remain. That dream should remain. So whatever the legal framework that has changed into, making KU another institution, the dream, the primary dream of serving these students shouldn't change. So why are we here? Why are we talking about this? Who changed the dream? Did you stop sharing it? That vision.
Thank you. I'm saying an honorable member who is not a member of this committee, but I want to assume she's a friend to the committee. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Zulekha Harun, nominated member and a friend of the committee, PIC.
Thank you. Now, what was the of KUTRH? Honorable, the Professor Olive, and what is the qualification of the current CEO and what is the legal provision for the qualification of the same? We can start with the VC. You comment on what honorable members have talked about. Are we here just because you and the two professors cannot work together, cannot agree?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and other members. I think the issue is that, to be very brief, I rejoined KU in 2005, and we have been working closely, even in the issue of the hospital, even the dream, trying to implement the dream. But members, what happened is that when this order actually came, I was surprised. I didn't know anything about it. And what happened after that is that we, as management, were requested actually to hand over the hospital. The contractors were still on site. They were also asked to hand over. I still recall Mr. Kenywa's letter indicating that they need to hand over. And that is when things actually turned out against Kenyatta University, because now I was in charge of the students. Members, we tried to do everything possible. We knew when we read the order, obviously it recognized Kenyatta University by having the Vice Chancellor as one of the board members. It also recognized the PS Higher Education as a member to be represented, and also a member of council. So, after the shock of losing the hospital, we still thought that it was possible for us to actually work, try to see what we can do as members. But Chair, it became very, very, very difficult. We even came up with some policies that would have...
Professor Paul Waina of the Kenyatta University there, flanked by former professor of the same institution, Olive Mugenda, and the Attorney General. They are responding to the Public Investment Committee on Governance and Education. There are a number of issues they were responding to, but the latest one being the unresolved matter audit queries related to the Kenyatta University stalled projects, as well as the management of the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. Also, they will be answering to the Kenya School of Law on pending audit queries. Our Bunge team is on that story and will bring us much more in our subsequent bulletin.